Hello YouTube, someone's here, fighting another battle, this time on a new map I haven't seen yet, called Salernum. Let's pause for a second and discuss the map. Uh, Really interesting map. We have part of it being city with these narrow streets, which is a lot of fun to fight, and a green area over here, which can actually venture into the city and get even more flanking done. So definitely gorgeous, gorgeous looking map. Lots of tactical opportunities. Deploying my preferred setup with 2 infantry units and a cavalry. We have upgraded to warband recently. Just sending them straight, hoping for that capture point. Since we do have cavalry, we can scout ahead, giving us this little advantage at least. So at the capture point, we see the enemy has sent 3 of their cavalry. They will hold the capture point for a little bit, but we do have infantry supporting, so the enemy is very uneasy and will have to back out. Which is, it's very nice to have some infantry in where the enemy thinks our cavalry is supposed to be. It can definitely help support and win key positions. So we do win this outpost here. We do get charged in. It's a surprising charge, even though it wasn't really that surprising. But our infantry backs up and hits them back on the run. So we took some health damage, but they took some morale damage. Overall, pretty fair trade. We have a lot more cavalry coming up. I see at least 4 units, possibly more. So I just try to hold with my infantry. Meanwhile, a battle is going on in the city and on the outskirts of it. Our guys are getting harassed over here, so I do send one of my melee units hoping to flank. The enemy cavalry is still buzzing around. I try to chase them away with my infantry. It's not that successful. They do charge in onto our skirmisher units, but they find themselves between the hammer and the anvil, and we get some damage on them as well. Again, another surprising flank. These beads over here definitely do something strange. So here I see some cavalry. I figured I can sneak in and get some kind of charge in, seeing that I have friends in support. But I definitely end up going too soon. I simply get charged and blocked by this infantry. I try to pull through, but there are a lot of units on all sides, and this unit is just going to get overwhelmed. Not much I can do. I try to run, but I'm between the hammer and the anvil in this one. Meanwhile, our cavalry is charging into the enemy rear, doing some good damage here. My infantry is preparing to do that as well. So yeah, this position in the forest is definitely interesting, because you can loop around and hit the city, helping your allies who are already engaged. Can definitely be very, very strong. Sending in my infantry now. A nice charge from the rear into this phalanx. Very effective. Spending perhaps too much time over here, but I do send my troops forward, seeing that there are some archers here. Just trying to rout these archers quickly before that hammer arrives, and it does arrive. Unfortunately, my body routs, and I'm not long for this world either. There's just too much of enemy stuff. So this unit will rout as well. Another small mistake by me, like the one in the north. Here, however, we have 2 phalanxes facing off each other, and I come from behind with my infantry. I even activate the newly gained berserk stance, which gives me more attack at the loss of defense. So this unit routes. We've lost some edge, we've gained a little bit of edge, and now I'm gonna try to help out here where there are tons and tons of skirmisher units. Probably the best kind of unit in this city, honestly, because there really aren't many avenues to maneuver. We do charge into them. But they do have melee troops of their own, so this just turns into a slaughter with arrows flying overhead from every which direction. I tried to pull through just to get that unit routed. And maybe I should have gone for this unit and tried to hit them in the back. But I really can't afford these archers to fire at me. They're still firing from every which direction. And my barbarian units aren't good at blocking their shots, so... We do charge into this melee unit. But they're really holding us back, and that's a lot of enemy fire. Eventually it just becomes too much, and I get shot to pieces, as you can see. My ally is helping me, and cavalry is supposed to be great against skirmishers. He routs one, but when you have like 6 missile units, it's really hard to engage them. So we do rout, and that's that for me for this battle. But it ain't over yet. So we've lost in the city. Our skirmisher units are now escaping from it. Hopefully this guy will back them up. Ooh, cavalry. That's not gonna look good. Oh, that's just a brutal charge. I haven't seen that before when I played it. That's just nasty. The damage is unethical. There is some support, so some of the archers are saved, but all these archers remaining still pretty powerful. And have a nice charge. There was a lot more going on than I thought, actually. What I was concerned at that moment was this little fight. We took the enemy capture point, but he kept sending units in. At this point, I wanted to say to my ally that he should stop moving his units, and that we could probably cap the point before all these units enter in. I'm not sure if that would have happened, but seemed pretty reasonable to me. So do you think he could have capped the base? He may not have needed to defend at this point, but he does choose to engage, and there are some nice flanking shots here. The enemy is somewhat weak, but he does have the archers, which are thankfully silenced. I was actually really concerned because the enemy was very strong this whole attack, but my allies dealt with them quite nicely. Some more arrows coming in from the right. Not sure from where exactly. But yeah, the flanking attack and everything definitely stopped them. I didn't think it would. I thought we threw the game at this point. But and enough of these horsemen dying so that the archers can deal damage to our melee units over here in the center. And that's the saving grace, really. More and more enemy reinforcements are coming in, I believe. Some more horsemen over here. There's some archers over here dealing with one horse band. Not having that much fun. At this point, the real battle is over. It's just the silent suffering of individual units at this point. A nice charge coming in from our opponents. That does not rout, fortunately for us. All units are just too weak to do much morale damage, so we end up slogging like this, just defending that capture point. You're not gaining any capture points by moving your unit, so you kind of have to stay still. So if you do want to defend, you actually have to engage, which may, as you can see, we've almost had the capture point, and now we don't have really any points anymore. Some enemy archers are still harassing us, and we can't really quite stay still. So one of my allies will send a unit or two at least. This lone horseman is still trying to ward these guys off. At this point, I think this guy said that he was worried about these guys coming in back and recapping and continuing that until they take their own capture point, which is besiege at the moment, but there is no one defending, so not a great situation to be in. Thankfully, the javelin men do destroy the archers. The enemy didn't do good enough of what am I trying to say here? The enemy didn't harass very well. They should have maintained more range, and then maybe they could have beaten these guys and go in, try to decap, or just halt the progress. I actually haven't realized time was running out at this point. Could have scored a time victory, definitely. And the enemy must not have many troops on our base, since it's capping so slowly. Perhaps just a unit or two. So that's the saving grace. We didn't do that well. We made some beautiful moves on the outskirts of the city and totally lost our one of our units in the north, just running into the enemy and just getting overwhelmed. Some good, some bad moves. Overall, a decent battle for us. We do win, and I believe I was somewhere in the middle in the rankings. The score screen doesn't unfortunately appear on the replays. Or does it? No, I don't believe it does. So thanks for watching. Hope you were mildly entertained, and I'll see you next time.